neither can live while the other survives. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, the Order of the Phoenix is the first of the Harry Potter films, of course, to be directed by David Yates. Unsurprisingly, Mike Newell did not return to direct Order of the Phoenix, and David Yates, the director who actually had the least experience directing big budget movies, who had done mainly TV episodes, was placed in the director's chair, which fans were very wary about. They thought the movie was going to be underwhelming because of that. And also, this is the only Harry Potter film of all eight not to be written by Steve Kloves. Instead, Michael Goldenberg got his chance to shine in the screenwriter's chair, which is a refreshing change. Now, Order of the Phoenix is, of course, the longest book in the series and is considered by many fans to be the weakest book, as even Rowling admitted the book was way too damn long. The movie is the shortest film in the series, well, second shortest film in the series, after Deathly Hallows Part 2, but was that the right move? Well, we're about to find out. So Order of the Phoenix takes place a couple of months after Goblets of Fire. Cedric died, Voldemort returned, no one believes Harry, and that sucks. The Ministry are making everyone believe Harry and Dumbledore are lying, and to make matters worse, Harry is attacked by Dementors and saves him and Dudley by using magic outside of school, even though, of course, he is underage and has to go to court for that, to prevent him from being expelled. As a result, when Harry was only saving Dudley's life, I hated the Ministry in this film. The Ministry were complete dicks. Harry is telling the truth, Voldemort has returned and we need to prepare for battle, and he literally saw Cedric, one of his friends, die, and he saved his cousin's life, and to be told that he's wrong for doing all this, to be told that he's just a liar making stuff up, I understand and felt Harry's pain throughout this film. And to make matters even worse, they brought in the most horrible, bitchiest teacher, if ever there was one, Dolores Umbridge, played outstandingly by Imelda Staunton. She is a major highlight of this movie. If there was ever a Harry Potter actor that deserved an Oscar, she should have won it. God, you hate this bitch. You hate her as much as Voldemort. I'm not kidding. She makes her Defense Against the Dark Arts lessons hell. They just write lines every single lesson. She refuses to teach them any magic, and gives Harry a detention where he has to write "I must not tell lies," and she carves her signature on his hand. God, it's brutal. Oh God, I have wanted the students. One of the cruelest things she does, she bans Weasley's Wares products, and she even sacks Professor Trelawney. Oh, the bitch. And McGonagall says, "Oh, there are several things I would like to say." It's like, you read my mind, McGonagall. And Dumbledore even stands up to her. He's like, "This power should remain in the headmaster. You have no right to banish teachers from the grounds." And she's just like, "For now," so implying she will eventually take over the entire school. And God, you're like, right, these students cannot put up with her anymore. They need to fight back. They need to stand up for themselves. So Harry is appointed their teacher of Defense Against the Dark Arts, and they form the DA, which stands for, of course, Dumbledore's Army, where they practice in the Room of Requirement dueling and preparing to face Voldemort when the Second Wizarding War will eventually come to pass. And these scenes are great. They're some of the best scenes in the movie. It's a great message for kids. To solve your problems, you have to actually do something about it. Things won't change unless you make the effort. And of course, Harry shares his first kiss with Cho, because Cho is still devastated over the loss of Cedric, and now Harry finally has a chance to get with her, which of course we know doesn't happen, but it shows how Harry is growing up, but of course we know he gets with Ginny. So I'm wondering, what was the point of this kiss and this romance with Cho? You could have could have kind of taken it out entirely. We just want Harry and Ginny because that's where it's going. Um, and I love the line Hermione says to Ron, "You've got the emotional rays of a teaspoon." It made me and my entire family put us in stitches laughing. And then Harry has this creepy nightmare about Nagini attacking Arthur Weasley in the Ministry of Magic, and it's brutal. And then Harry lets loose his anger at Dumbledore when Dumbledore has been ignoring him. He's not paying any attention to Harry over the past few months whatsoever, and Harry just loses it. And Snape realizes that Voldemort is trying to get into Harry's mind, and he needs lessons to be able to control this. Again, these lessons with Snape are some of the best scenes in the movie, particularly the second lesson where and Rickman get a brilliant chance to shine. And this scene greatly improves the relationship between Harry and Snape in these movies. It demonstrates how much Snape despises Harry's father, because Harry's father, of course, was a complete dick to Snape, as Harry sees in a brief flashback. And I'm like, why is Harry defending his father again? His dad was kind of a school bully. You feel Snape's pain, and Snape just wants to strangle Harry by the end of it. It was freaking terrifying. And of course, we all know where their relationship goes, but anyway, we'll talk about that in another review. And of course, we are introduced to uh, headquarters for the Order of the Phoenix, Grimlawn Place in London, and it's a magnificent set. I love how the building opens, and I love the wall of Sirius Black's family tree, and Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. He's great in this movie. He shares some genuinely brilliant moments with Daniel Radcliffe, and which makes it all the more sad, of course, what happens to Sirius in the end. But anyway, we'll talk about that a bit later. And of course, we meet a few new characters in this movie that I forgot to mention. We meet Kingsley Spagpot, we meet Nymphadora Tonks, members of the Order, and of course Creature, the house elf. He doesn't get nearly as much screen time in the movie as he does in the book, but think about it, he got all the screen time he needed in the movie. He didn't necessarily need a big role. And of course, the best new character in this film, Ivana Lynch as Luna Lovegood. Now, I love Luna. She's my sister's favourite Harry Potter character, and I can see why. Ivana Lynch plays the role perfectly. She looks the part, she sounds the part, she's does her own thing. Everyone thinks she's weird, but she doesn't give a damn. That's a great message for kids as well. Just be yourself when you face life. And sadly, of course, Umbridge becomes a headmaster of Hogwarts, and Dumbledore disappears, and but luckily Fred and George fight back in a wonderful scene where I just leapt up and cheered. Finally, they're rebelling, and Harry he has a vision where Sirius is being tortured by Voldemort for the prophecy, and while they try to use the Flu network in Umbridge's office to get to Sirius, they are sadly caught by Umbridge, who Hermione convinces her to go out into the Forbidden Forest because they need to show her Dumbledore's secret weapon. And of course, it's a trap to get Umbridge out of the way, finally, and where she is picked up by Gromp, Hagrid's half-brother, and then carried off by a group of centaurs. Now, I know people hate on the CGI for Gromp and the centaurs, saying how they look incredibly fake, and yeah, they're not the greatest effects in the Harry Potter movies, but to be honest, they didn't need to be. I mean, the duel between Dumbledore and Voldemort in the end needed to look great. That's where the budget needed to be. Then, of course, we get this beautiful scene with the Dumbledore's army members, including Harry riding on the Thestrals, these invisible creatures that can only be seen by people who've seen death. Harry and Luna have seen ones they love die, so they are the only two of the DA members that can see them. But I must be wondering, it must be a bit awkward for the other DA members riding on invisible creatures that they can't see. They must have felt pretty unsafe. Anyway, when they get to the Hall of Prophecies, Harry finds the prophecy and it says neither him and Voldemort can live while the other survives, which Harry realises one of them will have to kill the other in the end. And you're like, wow, we better hope Harry wins this. And then we get the first real battle in the Harry Potter movies, and David Yates did a spectacular job with this. Order of the Phoenix has the best action in the Harry Potter movies, hands down. The action in this movie puts the action in the first four Harry Potter movies to shame. I mean, it just took it to a whole new level. It's great seeing DA members battle the Death Eaters in the Hall of Prophecies. It's great seeing Sirius and the Order duke it out with the Death Eaters in in what I call the Room of Souls. And when Bellatrix Lestrange, of course another new character played extremely well by Helena Bonham Carter, kills Sirius, like, no! Yeah, it's such a sad loss to see the only family Harry has got left go. Right before Harry's eyes, and Harry uses the Cruciatus curse on Bellatrix. He is pissed. He is ready to just murder her. And I'm like, Harry used one of the unforgivable curses. How are you not in Azkaban in the Half-Blood Prince? But anyway, that's a little nitpick. But then Voldemort arrives, and then Dumbledore arrives, and the best scene in the movie happens. The battle between Dumbledore and Voldemort. Yes, the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort in the book is good as well, as it's very character driven, but the duel in the film is 100 times better. Thankfully a lot of the unnecessary dialogue in the fight in the book was removed from the film, because dialogue would slow the action scene down. It just wouldn't work. We get great spectacle, like Voldemort's fiery snake, Dumbledore's water ball, and Voldemort just crashing the glass. God, going, no! That would become Voldemort's meme. No! And yeah, when Voldemort and Dumbledore are evenly matched, Voldemort tries to take Harry's mind, and we get one of the best scenes in the Harry Potter films, where Harry realises it's not how we are alike, it's how we are not, and he's like, you're the weak one, and you'll never know love or friendship, and I feel sorry for you. And that really makes you think, yeah, Voldemort will never know love or friendship, and nor will any bad guy for that matter. And that's what makes villains so tragic. You really sympathise with them on that. And anyway, Voldemort escapes. The Ministry finally see and realise and acknowledge he's back. Dumbledore's back at Hogwarts, and he apologises for ignoring Harry. And Harry tells his friends at the end, even though they have a fight ahead of them, they have one thing Voldemort doesn't have. And I'm like, oh, a nose? Nah, something worth fighting for. Now, what can I say, guys? I love Order of the Phoenix. I don't have a single complaint about this film. It is my third favourite Harry Potter film. Yeah, I love it that much. I mean, fans of the book will hate it. It is so different. It misses out a lot. I mean, it cut out Dobby in the subplot with Hermione helping the house elves, as did Goblet of Fire. Quidditch has been cut out, rightly so. It would have been so unnecessary. Creature doesn't get nearly as much screen time, but as I said, that's a good thing. Harry and Cho's date, I thought, was rightly cut out, because there wasn't any point making us believe Harry and Cho could fall in love. We just want more Ginny. Thank God Ginny gets more screen time in the Half-Blood Prince. And there's so many other absent subplots that will be forever if I list them all. But yeah, Order of the Phoenix is such a great movie, because it's certainly the most visually spectacular, certainly the most feels like a movie of the 5 adaptations so far. It's the most expensive and action-packed in the series yet. David Yates did a brilliant job, considering this was his first Harry Potter movie, and the director with the least experience directing big budget movies actually turned out to be the best action director in the series. I'm glad the movie focused more on the drama than it did on the comedy, because the three lead actors excel at drama, particularly Daniel Radcliffe. I give Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix 5 stars out of 5. Thank you all for watching. Please like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.